Gustave Corbet, a French painter, was the driving force towards the realist movement in art. Of course, his success didn't officially start until he went to Germany and was very welcomed in the artistic community with open arms. His first painting, which was a self-portrait called Corbet and a Black Dog, was not accepted into an art gallery until 1844. Of course, this speech I chose to talk about a different painting, which is honestly one of my ultimate favorites in art because of how expressive it is about his attitude towards life and, of course, other painters and how he felt about having to compete with these other painters trying to get his own artworks into the saloon. And of course, it is a perfect example of how a picture could be worth more than 1,000 words throughout the ages. Okay, Corbet was, of course, born to a prosperous family in France. And he decided to go to Paris when he was about in his 20s, early 20s, like 21, 20 years old. And he wanted to study law, of course, which was a very, very high up in society. But when he got to Paris and began studying, he decided to branch off into art instead of law. And of course, his family didn't like that, so he never returned home to his family, really, afterwards. Anyhow, his painting that I want to talk about today is The Desperate Man, number 2. He has 2 versions of the same painting. The first one is a full profile, full body painting, a self-portrait of how he felt towards the romantic movement and being a driving force towards another movement in art. And anyway, The Desperate Man 2 was painted in 1844, the same year as when his first ever painting showed up in art galleries in France, which was very difficult for him because all these people were so they were so accustomed to all these paintings that had made life look better than it really was, and he thought that this was very deceiving to people. So he decided to paint things very realistically. But for some reason, every painting he has made has this surreal feel to it, which is amazing, especially because of modern art. There are all these kinds of crazy art pieces that mean more, and they are so abstracted. But these paintings, they're not so abstracted that you don't understand what he is trying to say through his artwork. But The Desperate Man 2 is about 17.5 inches to 21 inches large, of course. And now today it is in a private Corbet collection somewhere in the world. Probably in Paris, France, or somewhere in Europe somewhere. But today it's still just in a private collection that it owns by somebody who loved his artwork, which is great. At least someone can appreciate it as much as I do. But anyway. Although his painting was accepted by the saloon in 1844, Corbet and the Black Dog, his real success didn't start until he visited Germany. And he was very welcomed with open arms by the artistic community because of his realistic paintings. And also his landscapes when he moved into the rural areas in Germany. And the realistic, how real and surreal at the same time that it seemed very much struck the Germans as beautiful. They thought that reality was more beautiful than the Romanticism movement. And So that is when he began the realistic movement started to kick off when he went to Germany. Even today, corbet continues to inspire people, especially new aspiring artists, and especially people who are trying to do landscapes, and they're trying to figure out where their place is in art, in the art community, artistic community. And he is really even an inspiration to me because of how the Desperate Man 2, his facial expression and everything depicted everything he was feeling towards the romantic movement and having to compete against all these other artists and trying to make the struggle and find out where his place is, and eventually he found it in Germany. And really, this painting is particularly worth more than 1,000 words. It is the perfect example to the expression. Thank you.